What is good, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'll be showing you guys the 5 best class setups you need to be using in MW3 ranked play. This is probably the best beam AR class. There is no recoil on this thing. It is so good, and here's what I have on it. This is the one Scump was using for the barrel. 16.5 inch cyclone long barrel. For the bullet velocity, aiming, idle, sway, firing, aim stability. The DR6 ham stop. Now this is your speed attachments for your aim, walking, movement speed, your ADS speed, your movement speed, and your sprint to fire speed. So you need this to make sure you're not just like stuck on the map. You know, you're able to move and run around fast. Then you're gonna come over here. You're gonna put a slate reflector as the optic. The RB precision heavy stock is really good for the aiming, idle, sway, and firing, aiming stability. And then here, last but not least, is the RB claw PSL grip for the rear grip. Here you can see what it does. Recoil control, gun kick control, and fire aiming stability. So a lot of aiming stability on this weapon. And what you need to do is always go into firing range and test it out. I will show you guys right here. Make sure you guys are doing this test on your own. As you can see, this thing is not moving. Even at range, it is just a beam. It is so good. This is probably the best class. If you're struggling to shoot straight, use this class and you will be shooting very straight. This class setup is for those players that like to strafe a lot. If you're ADSing and you want to go fast and walk fast back and forth like this is a class setup for you. There is slightly more visual recoil than the last class, but I would say this is a good class to use on maps like Skid Row, Terminal, like kind of like the smaller maps. Like on Invasion, I wouldn't really recommend a class like this, but I will show you guys what it looks like in the firing range when I am aiming in. I'm walking so fast that if I'm crouching on a head glitch, I could just be like going back and forth like this. So in gunfights, I'm essentially dodging bullets while I'm just trying to dodge bullets while hitting my bullets. So this, like I said, it is harder to shoot longer range with this class setup, but it's still very good. And you want to make sure, as you guys should know, always hold slightly down on your right analog stick when you are shooting. It will help control the recoil. If you don't, see, this is what happens when I'm not doing it. My gun just goes straight up. When I am holding slightly down on the right stick, it doesn't really go up. So this class is for my strafers on the smaller maps. And here is the Renetti class setup. This is the professional one. So for the barrel, you have to use MLX short competition. You get movement speed, ADS speed, sprint to fire, and same thing with the rear grip. It's all about like speed, movement speed, sprint to fire speed, all that good stuff. So the EXF Eclipser grip, and then the slate reflector optic. But in rank play, you don't have to always abide by the pro rules in GAs. I would recommend you use the ELR Blackfire Commissar XS. It gives you a lot of recoil control, and you can see that in the firing range right here. Bang. The only thing it takes away, if you go look at this, is actually the bullet velocity and range. But the thing is, with the pistol, you're never really fighting at long ranges. If you're fighting at long range with a pistol, odds are you're in a really bad position and you're doing something you shouldn't be. So that's why it's so important to make sure you have good recoil control while still being able to run around and aim down sights quickly as well. So this is by far the best Renetti setup. Here is the professional class setup for the Rival 9, which all the top SMG, Shotzi, Hydra, Simpa, BZ will be using with the MTZ Marauder stock, the Rival Vice Assault Grip, DR6 handstop underbarrel, the Purefire Muzzleblade S, and then the Rival Clear Shot Barrel. The only thing about this, I think it's good on the smaller maps, but there is a lot of recoil with this new update. So I can show you guys in the firing range what that looks like, and you'll see there's a pretty good amount of recoil, and especially at long range. Of course, SMGs are going to have a lot more recoil long range, but I would say this could hurt someone that's not as advanced as a player or doesn't have the best shot, you could say, yet. So this one takes a little bit of time. The strafe is good, and the movement speeds are really good on this one. So this is for my aggressive players that are just all over the map on like Karachi or like a Skid Row and just making plays throughout the mid tunnels and those mid cutouts and stuff. But this is the pro player Rival 9 class setup. This is a class setup I would recommend to those people that want the least recoil as possible while still having good movement speed, still being able to work around the map and maneuver with an SMG. So you're going to keep the Clear Shot Barrel on, the Purefire Muzzle S, the Rival Vice Assault Grip, MTZ Marauder stock, and the only thing we're changing is the underbarrel, because the DR6 is all about movement speed, being able to ADS and move around the map quicker. But we're going to switch it to the X10 Phantom, which still has sprint to fire speed, which is really important for a sub. You still have ADS speed, but you have vertical recoil control and then gun kick control as well. You lose a little bit of horizontal and the hip fire and tack stance spread, but that isn't too important. And this one just beams a lot more than the last Rival 9 I just showed you. So this would definitely be better for like beginners or people that just want to be able to shoot long ranges and shoot very accurately. So you can see there's a lot less recoil than the last one. This one feels a lot. I guess still it feels really good. At long ranges too, you should also be tapping. It's very important to do that. You can see the visual recoil. There's just not as much with this gun. So that is the class setup I would recommend for the Rival 9 if you want to beam with it a little bit more than the previous one I just showed you. Now I'm going to break down the tacticals, the lethals, and all the perks, the fields upgrade, everything for you guys. So stun is definitely the best thing to use, if you know, because most people use EOD padding, which is flak jacket. If you get stunned in this game, you might as well just drop your controller. You are dead. You're not really able to move at all. A lethal, there's different situations to use both. With a frag grenade, let's say it's like S&D on Karachi. I'm gonna throw some pre-nades over buildings and kill people. But if I'm breaking a certain hill, like on sub base or on terminal, like the old Burger Hill was, for example, and you want to stick a wall, because sometimes if you don't stick the wall with your sometimes it explodes. If you use a frag, you throw it and it can like roll to an area you don't want it to go. So nading people off hills can be a little bit more accurate with the Semtex. The only thing is you can't really throw it over buildings and hit Kobe's like that. So you want to use the frag grenade in certain situations, Semtex in others. I could make more videos going in detail about that. Let me know if you guys would like to see that though. But you kind of really have to figure out the situation. I do think in S&D though, a frag grenade is overall much better. Go to field upgrade. Trust me, there is a GA in the pro community or the pro play in this game where you can only use 2 trophies, which is good. It's really good that you can only use 2 trophies, because if everyone had a trophy, it would be near impossible to break some of these hills, especially ones that have a lot of good power positions and head glitches. But in rank play, there's no limit on how many trophies you could use. So your whole team should be using a trophy. It will help you make plays on search. Every single round you can have a trophy. On respawn modes like hardpoint, every single hardpoint, someone's gonna have a trophy for you, and that's gonna block 3 of their tacticals. That makes rotating to the new hardpoint that much more important and locking it down. Because if you have 1 or 2 trophies, it's gonna be very hard for them to break it. They're gonna be trying to just throw stuff. Right when they're throwing stuff, your team coordinates a chow out. You get a 2 or 3 piece just by working together. So use 4 trophies, and hopefully they will put like a limit on it where they can only be 2 on a team. I don't think they will be able to do that, but it is so overpowered to use a trophy system. Trust me. For the gloves, the quick grip gloves are good to throw trophies quicker if you're doing like a rush and search and destroy, or you're playing on a mixy map in hardpoint, where you just need to throw the trophy system down quick, and also to be able to throw your stuns and your nades faster as well. There is other uses for these gloves. The ordnance gloves, I like to use sometimes off certain breakoffs on hardpoint or S&D. If I want to nade something really far away, like I'll go run, I'll throw a nade and then start like shooting the person with my gun to get them a little hurt, and then my nade will finish them off. Marksman gloves are good as well, but I would only use them on like a big map like Invasion for a respawn. If all the other maps, when I have to throw my trophy quicker, I like to use quick grip, but for this one I will just be able to beam a little bit more. Pretty much, yeah, you just have, it reduces your sway and your flinch while you're ADSing, so when you're getting shot you don't flinch as much. And it's very, very helpful in those really long range gunfights on long range maps like Invasion, for example. But on terminal, I'm going to stick to quick grip gloves, and a skid row, I'll do the same as well. Assault gloves are good to use for an SMG player, because a lot of the times you are jump shotting with an SMG in this game. That's just kind of how the meta is with it. Use jump shots sometimes with an AR, but I feel like a lot of the times you're either like laying down at an off angle or you're just strafing with an AR. You're not really jumping as much. But if you are using a submachine gun like the Rival 9, you can use assault gloves and it's good. You could do the same thing with an MCW, but I would not recommend it, because then you're not able to throw tacticals or trophies quickly. And you also do not have like the flinch and reduced sway with the marksman gloves. So assault gloves are really for SMG players to be using. Let's go over to the boots. Lightweight boots I like to use off certain breakoffs, especially in like hardpoint and respawn control. I want to get areas a little bit quicker, because that 1 or 2 steps can make a huge difference. In search and destroy, if I'm making a rogue play, my team's 4 hitting something and the other team knows we're going to be there, I won't even use covert sneakers. I'm going to use lightweight because they know we're going to be there. We're hard challenging it. So use lightweight to get those extra steps to be a little bit ahead of the other team. Climbing boots are good to just climb on stuff faster. If you're climbing up a ladder or climbing on things, I will use sometimes. And covert sneakers, this is what you should mainly be using on search and destroy for most of the time. Unless you have a 4-man crazy all-out hit strategy in search and destroy, these are very important to use for the mid-round clutches and the late-round clutches, because people will be hearing you. People have sound EQ. People have crazy settings that they can hear with the audio in this game. Even in hardpoint and control, especially control, when the game slows down late round, people will be listening to you. They will be hearing your footsteps. So covert sneakers is very good to use late round in control. In hardpoint, you don't have to use it as much. That's probably the game mode I will use these the least. I will try to use lightweight boots the most in hardpoint, but covert sneakers, if it's like certain maps, let's say like a sub base where it's kind of slow pace, or an invasion where it's kind of slow pace and you're making some late plays, but for the most part, I'm gonna stick to lightweight boots. But it's, if you notice yourself getting hurt by the team a lot because people have crazy settings, put on covert sneakers. It will definitely be worth it. And last but not least is the gear. The two main gears you want to use are either tac mask. If you notice yourself getting stunned a lot, you want to use this. If you're not really like traditionally a hill player in hardpoint, you're kind of roaming around, I would say this is better to use because you're not really trapped to where you're going to get naded. You can just get stunned and then get out of it quicker and make plays like that with the tac mask. But EOD padding is what most people are going to use because grenades are very strong in this game. Sometimes I even still get one naded with EOD padding in this game. I don't know if it's just me. It might be, you guys might notice it as well. But EOD padding is to reduce all the nade damage and explosive damage from Semtex and frag grenades, which is what you probably should be using. But if you aren't in the hill a lot, use tac mask to maybe see how it works. And you can maneuver around the map and flow smoother. But guys, that's going to do it for the meta class setups in ranked play. Hopefully these help. I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, my name's Attach, and I'm out. Peace.